Alright folks, welcome to episode 20 of the Wee Podcast. Phil here with Clarky.
Hello. Oh, fuck.
Really?
It's a chair.
Okay. Alright folks, welcome to episode 20 of the Wee Podcast. Phil here with Clarky.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about conspiracy theories. We've got a little bit of a serious type of one, and I've got a couple of funny ones and stuff, so grab your tinfoil hats and stick them on for the episode.
Woo!
So off the back of last week's episode, at the end of it, we were coming to the end. We were talking about doing like conspiracy theories of some sort, and thought this week we would do that, I suppose. Yeah. We had a little look into some there. I've done a few silly ones because I just don't see the point in them. Like, I just think they're really silly, and you know. But Clark looked into one that I think we're both quite interested in. If you wouldn't mind talking a bit more about that.
It's sort of funny. It actually blew up. I first sort of heard about it maybe whenever I was 15, and I remember I started watching all these really long YouTube videos and blah blah blah. Seriously, honestly, like
that's when they all happen, isn't it? Really, because whenever we were younger, because like we were doing research and stuff, and I found some things that were like there's just nothing that's really like relevant or anything, you know.
Exactly.
Like you've also got like the moon land and stuff. I was looking at, and it was just like it's just stupid. You know what I mean?
It does not make sense. There's no pictures of the surface of the moon.
Yeah, and people are going back and forth.
6 flags.
Yeah,
5 of them stand and 1 of them knocked down.
Yeah, but people are going back and forth to space stations and stuff like, so it doesn't make any sense. So
exactly.
That's just debunked, I think, if you were to ask me about that.
I would agree.
But Clark's got a good one here, so
yeah, this one I'm sure anybody listening's probably actually looked into it at some point. I'd be very surprised if you haven't. It's the New World Order
from wrestling. NWO, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner.
But the New World Order, so typically that's sort of linked to the Illuminati, and things like that. But there's a lot more to it, which I learned as I was going through this.
Do tell me.
But basically, for anybody that doesn't know, and maybe you'll learn something too.
Oh, I can guarantee I will. Yeah.
The New World Order, or NWO, which I'll just call it going forward.
Yeah.
Not the wrestler.
WWE.
Yeah, not the wrestling group or whatever they are. But basically, it's claimed to basically be an emerging totalitarian world government. So basically they would rule everything, control everything, public sector, private sector, whatever, they would rule it.
Well, that makes sense.
That's it.
Yes.
So
that's my understanding.
And that's a common theme, is that you know, there are these powerful elite people, they've got the one agenda, all working together, conspiring, and they're eventually gonna run the world through one government.
Like Beyonce.
It's not literally, she's probably like the head of the whole thing. But like, she basically, this government will rule the entire planet in one place. Like, it won't be like
as
Britain
a unit.
has one. Yeah, it will just be like one big thing. So basically, there won't be any states, there won't be any nations. It will just be one world.
Just be one weird island. What they'll probably do is they'll probably have like big massive things under like the
push us all together.
Just push us all together. Be like, yeah, that's us.
There we go. We're all gonna live somewhere warm.
Yeah.
But
hopefully,
basically, it's the whole premise that I sort of took through is that people are like looking into like propaganda, if you like, right? So, and essentially they find within this propaganda that this New World Order stuff is there the whole time. You've probably seen this whole thing about the American dollar bill.
Yeah,
I'll catch on to that a wee bit later. Don't want to ruin it,
the
but there's
triangle.
wee bits and stuff on there, and some Latin on there and things like that.
Yes.
But basically, you know, a lot of that culminates from them thinking that these historical figures were in this and had this plan hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and that it was still in effect now, and they sort of set it into motion, you know, then. Pardon me. So basically, that's a short rundown. Eventually, apparently, the NWO is for world domination, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I mentioned the Illuminati. So it's probably important that we give you a bit of background on them. They did exist. Okay, they were real / are. We don't know, but that's the whole point. Ooh. But anyway,
Scurry biscuits.
They were an Enlightenment age secret society, founded in Germany.
Okay.
Okay, in 1776 on the 1st of May.
Okay.
Okay.
Coming up to the anniversary soon.
we are indeed. The guy who founded it was called Adam Weishaupt, I think that's how you say it.
So he was German then.
He was pretty German.
He's pretty German.
So basically, people within that movement, they were actually invited. Okay, so it wasn't just be like, oh, I'm going to be an Illuminati man. You're not. You have to be invited.
Yeah.
The whole point of the movement is free thought, liberalism, gender equality, all that.
Okay.
Everything as one.
It's funny because we're still fighting for gender equality at the minute.
Yeah, well, you'll find out a bit more about the Illuminati soon.
Oh dear.
So
they whip them all into shape.
They actually recruited most of these people from German Masonic lodges. Okay. Masonic lodges will come into a wee bit later as well.
Yeah.
So, in 1785, so 9 years after it was set up, it was actually infiltrated and broken up. Okay. By government agents of Germany. They didn't like it, basically. The guy was campaigning to become like an electorate, basically, where he was. Charles Theodore, you called him. Good name.
Charles Ted,
yeah. He was basically trying to become part of the government. Didn't like what was going on with the Illuminati at all. Thought, no, let's get rid of that. He didn't like secret societies, essentially.
I don't think anybody does.
Unless
you're a part of them.
Well, exactly.
That's always the way it is, isn't it?
Exactly. But he didn't like them. Didn't want them to ever become like a breeding ground for people to like basically overthrow the monarchy or the government or whatever.
Yeah.
So essentially, there's no proof that the Illuminati survived that disbandment ever. So 1785 was what 300 and a lot of years ago, 333 years ago.
Yeah.
Allegedly was when, or 233 years ago, sorry, was when it was sort of chucked away.
Okay.
So that's where a lot
But
of...
it's not.
Well, allegedly, there's no proof. That's the whole point. There's no proof, and that's what a lot of the whole conspiracy theory, you'll find the way through this little narrative. A lot of it is that prove I'm wrong. No, you prove you're right.
Well, that's
no, you prove I'm wrong.
But that's conspiracy theories for you,
know
though,
what I mean?
That's what they are. That's what theories are. Just conspiracies, the whole intent to hurt people and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, what I find really interesting is, before I move on to the next bit, is that that was disbanded in 1785. Right, so as I say, 233 years ago, if my maths is right, hopefully. But even through history, this sort of train of thought of this world order thing, it comes through. So there were little bits that I was like, oh, so speaking, just going to speak a bit of some literature that's pretty important. So first bit I'm going to talk about is called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Which sounds amazing, by the way.
It sounds like, Dude, Where's My Car?
No.
Zordon.
Oh, yes.
Zordon.
Yeah.
Is it Zordon? Or is it Zoltan?
Zoltan.
Zordon's the guy from Power Rangers, isn't he?
Don't know.
Zordon? Yeah, pretty sure it is.
I don't know.
All those geeks are like, yeah, good.
That's right. No, yeah, sort of.
Zoltan.
sort of does. But,
what's his name again? Sorry, was it
Protocols of the Elders of Zion?
Zion.
Zion was like a Bible thing.
Yeah, but that still sounds like a bit like Dude, Where's My Car?
It does, but it's actually a book, and it's quite a controversial book because it's very anti-Semitic.
Oh, it hates the Jews.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
And you'll never guess where it came from.
Israel.
Russia.
Oh,
of course.
Okay.
But it was published in 1903.
Yeah.
So you're talking 218 years after the Illuminati disappeared.
Well, someone obviously
in quotes.
Yeah.
So
someone's had the benefit, some sort of knowledge about it. Like,
I mean, this is where it sort of gets a little bit interesting. Is that they alleged that there was a Judeo/Masonic conspiracy to actually take over the world together. So basically, in the book, it says that allegedly it's got minutes of all these Jewish masterminds that got together and that they'd co-opted with Freemasonry and they were plotting to take over the whole world on behalf of all the Jews because they're the people of God and they're the chosen people and that's why they deserve the whole world.
Okay.
That's essentially what this book is about.
Okay.
It's got a lot of attacks on Freemasonry as a whole as well. they were saying, yeah, we're going to work together, but don't know about that.
Yeah, not include them anyway.
But again, like, this is why I said it was interesting. It brings in a lot of the same themes as the Illuminati in terms of enlightenment, conservativeness, making sure that we have one sort of government, etc. It all it sounds very similar. So basically, if I was to summarize the book in like a nutshell, it basically says if you were to peel back the layers of the Masonic conspiracy and then go past the Illuminati, etc., then eventually what you'll find is a Jewish core. That's what this book essentially says. If you go past all of this, you will find that in the middle of everything it is the Jews, and that they deserve the whole world because they're the God's chosen people.
Right.
Okay. Which I thought was a bit interesting because obviously it does say that in the Bible. So there you are.
But well, sure. All religious groups have
their own
perception of how they should be kings of the world. So
exactly,
I don't really care much for it. Like, at the end of the day, to me, like conspiracy theories literally are guff.
Well, that's what I thought too. But as I say, as you read into this a bit more, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be interesting, 100%. But I don't know. Like, the majority of the ones that I read, I'm like, I understand, but no.
Understand, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
Have you heard of H.G. Wells?
Yes.
The author.
Yeah.
He also comes up. Ooh. So he comes up. He wrote a book in 1928, and it was called The Open Conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it offers for want of a better term, like a blueprint of how to have a world revolution and have one world brain and one world state and a planned economy.
That's ridiculous. Like,
so
that's like just saying, here's a blueprint to take over the world.
It's essentially that is what the book
just
was.
Stupid.
But then he wrote another one. So that was 1928.
How to not take over the world.
He wrote another one in 1940, called The New World Order.
Oh right, okay.
Right? Now within that,
he predicted wrestling then. Very good.
And within that, I took a little bit of text from the sort of excerpts that I could find. Okay. Yeah, and there's some interesting points here where it says this. It says, when the struggle seems to be drifting definitely towards a world social democracy, there may still be very great delays and disappointments before it becomes an efficient and beneficent world system. Countless people will hate the New World Order, be rendered unhappy by the frustration of their passions and ambitions through its advent, and will die protesting against it. When we attempt to evaluate its promise, we'll have to bear in mind the distress of a generation or so of malcontents, many of them quite gallant and graceful looking people.
I've heard that.
AKA, if we need to take out a generation that don't want anything to do with it, that's fine. Yeah. It won't matter. Yeah. That's essentially what he was saying in his book.
Well, that's what people are saying of this generation at the minute. Mm-hmm. The millennials are saying, well, they're just useless.
Which I completely disagree with.
Yeah, I mean, innovation is back in the day, innovation for them was like making cars, whereas now it could be making anything.
Making the smallest phone in the world that's also the most powerful computer ever made.
Yeah, exactly. Like
or making AI or whatever we're doing right now.
Well, yeah, like technology does like progress. Like it doesn't just stop at 1940. You know, exactly. Like the world does carry on after that. You know, and people just don't.
Exactly.
But I mean, it isn't. It's obvious that the generations are getting a bit. Some of them are getting a bit dimmer than others. Like but that's due to technology as well. That's due to giving your kid a tablet too and expecting them to be a mastermind in mathematics and English, but they're not. I know we have, but that's just the way it goes. It's a circle of life. So
we could literally have a whole podcast on technology.
Well, yeah. Well, you give a caveman a stick, and then he's going to go and kill things. If you give a caveman a tablet, he's just going to sit there and drool all day, isn't he? So.
Correct. He's going to sit and watch cat videos.
Yeah, cat videos. That's all it is on YouTube these days.
But so essentially that's what he was saying. That if we need to skip a generation, let's skip it.
It's possible, entirely possible as well.
So, but there's actually, again, just while we're still on some of this, is that there's a British lady basically called Alice Bailey. She was one of the founders of the so-called New Age movement. Okay, so they prophesized, and this is true, in 1940 they prophesized that the Allies in World War II would win the war. They would beat the Axis troops. They did do that in 1945. So they said 5 years beforehand they're going to beat them, and that's what's going to happen. So basically, what they then thought was going to happen, though, so they got that bit right and then got this bit wrong.
Okay.
So what they thought was then going to happen is that the Allies were then essentially going to make like a political and religious new world order after that. Once it was done,
Why would they think that? Why would they try and right?
basically, it's the reason I went on to this next was because she actually saw a federal world government as basically the culmination of what's actually in Wells's book, The Open Conspiracy.
Yeah.
She basically seen that as like, oh yeah, well that's what's going to happen. This is exactly what's going to happen at the end of this. Obviously it didn't.
It's just like she's just like read it and just thought that's a brilliant idea. I'm gonna just push this forward and it's not gonna happen.
But she was all for it because basically that group argued that yeah, that's going to be good. This is going to be great.
This is how cults form.
Wow, there you are. Okay, so you've got there.
Oh, okay.
She essentially said, this is going to be good, because it's going to be guided by people called Masters of the Ancient Wisdom, who are intent on preparing humanity for the mystical second coming of Christ and the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That is what she believed whenever she started this new world.
I'm assuming it's done now.
New age, sorry. Yeah. It's
people probably still follow it and try and bring it up
probably
in this sort of day and age. But
the best bit is we've hit weird. Let's dial it up a bit
more.
Slightly more.
Just it's gonna get weirder then.
So obviously that was just some was literature, and then I moved on a little bit to sort of what's came from that.
Yeah.
So moving on from the new age, this is my favorite bit, I think, because this.
Like, it all seems really wacky.
Well, yeah, but everything else, you're like, okay, I can sort of see it.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is just
ludicrous.
Yeah, like if you see anything in this that is in any way true
or makes sense
or makes any sense,
you're completely delusional.
I would love you to get in touch and let me know why or how. So. Basically,
if there's any like conspiracy theorists out there that do believe in any of this stuff, then by all means, please come on.
Yeah, debunk what we're saying.
Yeah,
we would love to hear it.
Yeah,
because it would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be a really mad shouting match, but it'd be okay.
So, since the late 1970s, okay, basically there's a guy called David Icke. Oh, you've probably heard of him.
I've heard.
You know where I'm going with this already.
Yeah,
he believes that extraterrestrials from other habitable planets or parallel dimensions and intraterrestrials from actually within Earth.
Yeah.
So he believes that the Earth is not solid, that inside it's hollow.
Yeah.
Essentially.
There's basically like another generation of people living in there. Or...
essentially.
Well, I wouldn't call it people.
They're called reptilians.
Yeah.
That's the term.
Yeah, I've heard about this before.
Yeah.
Like, this is just like
It's insane. Like, he believes basically that these aliens have been among us for ever, decades, since the
dawn of time,
centuries, millennia, whatever.
Yeah.
But basically, now this is my favorite bit. I hope you don't know this, because this is my favorite bit of the whole thing. So, a government cover-up enforced by men in black.
Yeah, I know this. Yeah, I know this.
Basically, has shielded the public from knowledge. So, sorry, I just think that's amazing.
Yeah,
but anyway, so
like, how crazy is that? Like,
Men in Black.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be honest. Does that mean the film?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the whole Will Smith Galaxy Defenders.
Oh, that is the best. Oh my goodness. So, essentially, these aliens have invaded us a while ago, motivated by basically coming and taking us over.
People have heard like redheads are like half alien as well.
Gingers?
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently so. It's another conspiracy theory out there for you that's sort of entwined with reptilians and aliens.
Having it on with humans.
Well, I'm dating one, so that's good, isn't it?
Lauren Ginger?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
There you go.
Scary biscuits, like.
Well, maybe that's why you maybe know more about this than you're letting on.
She's got a secret lair. No. 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 A secret, like, reptilian lair.
She doesn't like cold drinks, does she?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Scary, innit?
Yeah. Okay, right.
So that's
Moving swiftly on before I completely made myself seem like an idiot for saying this is complete crap and then believing your girlfriend's a lizard. So, basically these lizards, aliens, reptilians, and also known as greys, have been living with us forever. Apparently, some theories believe they can shapeshift.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the video actually come and do that? As a video, I don't know what president. I think it could be Bush. Bush Jr., not Senior.
George W. Bush.
Yeah.
George H.W. Bush.
Yeah. He
R.I.P. Barbara Bush. She died today.
Did she?
Yeah.
You're joking?
92.
That's crazy. 92?
Yeah, she did good.
That's mental.
Fair play to her. Great woman.
Well, this isn't really going to be good for her then. But yeah, George was seen on. I mean, it could be obviously video effects. It's a real thing. Let's not, you know. But he basically like turned. I think it was like this is years ago. I watched it. Like, he turned his head and like it was a bit of a in his face.
Like a blur.
Like a weird sort of like, you ever seen is it Final Destination? Is it where they have whenever they take photos of people and their face blurs?
Yes.
No, it's not. It's not. It's The Grudge, isn't it? I don't know.
The Ring.
The Ring. It's The Ring. You're
Sorry.
right. Yeah. But yeah, it's like that. Like the face just sort of blurs a little bit, and then like a little weird, like a little reptilian face sort of.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, it's online everywhere. Like I mean, but it's easy video effects.
Yeah, probably. But the amount of rabbit holes you go down doing this.
It's tough, like, because I remember, like you said before, going through the YouTubes and stuff and seeing these old conspiracy videos. Like you would just literally watch like one after the other, and by the end you're like, I'm sold.
I remember going into my mum being like, "You need to watch this.
Yeah, like
this is happening right now, and we are doing nothing about it."
Yeah, and now we're like 23, 24, being like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. That was nuts. Like
people are still like, they're like 60, 70 years old going, "Oh, I believe that they're," it's like, seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I have to draw the line at shape-shifting lizards that live in a hollow world. I think that's...
Well, shape-shifting is a real thing, isn't it? Like, there's certain animals that can shape-shift.
I don't think so.
But like turning the different shapes, yeah. Like jellyfish, I'm pretty sure jellyfish can...
But they're not like 90% water.
Yeah, but they can still like do things though.
I know that chameleons can change colour.
Yeah, they can change colour.
Is that chameleons?
Yeah, chameleons, yeah.
I don't know what can shape-shift. I don't think that exists.
There are things that can maneuver themselves to look like certain things, because it's obviously there's like predatorial things.
I know what you mean. Sorry, yeah.
And there's also fish that can also change in between a man and a woman, or a male and a female. Sorry, organisms. So, and there's also another fish that can literally.
No, the males carry babies.
Males carry the babies, yeah. But there are like this. There's like a fish, I can't remember what it's called, but it grows basically, and it could be a female to start off with, and then just change into a male.
Should we do that now?
Yeah, but that's through surgery. They don't have surgery underwater. They just swim until they go. Oh, they're like singing. They could be singing like a Beyonce song, with 2 seconds later it's like a Jay-Z song. Just because like. You know what I mean?
What happened to you, John? No, it's Jemima now.
But that's what I'm saying. You never know. Yeah. Like you never know what. I don't know. I think there are some sort of possibility there, but
you believe?
No, I wouldn't believe there's people that can just go. And then
just checking. But essentially, that is their final. They're in the final stage.
Their final form.
They're in the no. It's it. Like it literally said that they are now basically shapeshifting. They're in charge of our countries and blah blah blah, and they're now in the final stages in their plans to take over the world.
Well, go them.
So they're doing all right.
Go them. You do you.
They're doing all right. It would explain a lot.
Keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully we'll see in the next couple of years what happens.
But now, as I said, I mentioned earlier about Illuminati Masonic link.
Yeah.
So I'll go into that a bit more now. So basically, the first sort of thing that people see is that Freemasonry and the Illuminati are similar in age. Freemasonry's older, by about 100 years-ish.
Okay.
So, it's basically one of the world's oldest secular fraternal organizations, which is essentially tends to be male. There are female offshoots and whatever, but tends to be a all male organization, and it arose during the late 16th, early 17th century, so roughly 100 years before. So was it 1776?
Yeah.
Illuminati, so roughly about 100 years. So, but basically from their inception, they've always faced these conspiracy theories because people don't really know what goes on.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's where it comes from, isn't it?
Yeah,
So.
I mean, like, you know where they meet, etc. Like, you can, like, you know where the one is in Carrick, for example.
Yeah.
But you don't know what goes on.
Yeah.
You know. So, anyway,
espionage.
Yeah. Basically, they've always had this thing where they have this hidden political agenda, and they are also working towards this new world order.
So the end goal basically is to rule the world.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's
with the lizards, obviously.
With the lizards, yeah. Bring on Steve with you. Come on, Steve.
But literally, not even just this, but like they were actually accused. Freemasons, as it is, were actually accused of practicing Satanism in the late 18th century. So basically,
accused that.
Yeah. So
was it a crime?
It was then.
Oh. Okay.
It's a long time ago now, but basically, they there was a whole big anti-Masonic thing in the US in the 19th century, the late 1890s. In France, there was a whole big thing as well, where there was pamphlets going around basically saying that they worshipped Lucifer as their supreme being or whatever. But then he later on was like, yeah, I lied. I don't know why I did that. But basically, this all sort of links together in that the Illuminati were disbanded in 1785. They were linked with these guys in general. So essentially, what they were saying is
they were like living through
what they've actually done is just went, whoop,
under the radar.
Yeah, we're just gonna fly in and we're just gonna join you guys, and that's what we're gonna do. So essentially, based on all these, satanic accusations over like 200 years, it had a pretty big impact in terms that people they were scared of them. They weren't as accepting of Freemasons, etc. Which sort of harks back to the Illuminati, exactly the same way. And not just because of the whole overthrowing of the government or anything anymore. It was now because they worship Satan, so we have to be really scared of them. Basically,
it's basically saying like all metal lovers.
Yep,
it's the same.
That's the way people look at it, isn't it? It's just
not anymore, thankfully.
No,
I mean,
that's true.
People that don't understand, there are different cultures and there's different things that they believe in. Like, but I mean, I suppose in Northern Ireland there's like loads. So you go up to Belfast, you get called a goth for having long hair. So
yeah, it's
just stupid, like
crazy. But no, like basically, it comes around that the founding fathers of the U.S., George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, etc. We also mentioned the dollar earlier.
Yeah.
That they have been basically planning this forever. That this is where the Illuminati have started coming back, and a new world is going to happen through Freemasonry because these guys started it. So allegedly there's geometric designs, which is part of Freemasonry, part of the whole New World Order thing, allegedly, in basically American society in general. So the actual seal,
America is very forward. Like they're very, very forward with
yeah,
these
they
things,
love this stuff.
Yeah,
they think it's mad.
But then again, they have Area 51, so they have to be, don't they?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But the Great Seal of the United States, so the one that's on the back of the dollar bill, it has Latin on it basically.
That says this is a dollar bill.
No, well, it also has the Eye of Providence, so the pyramid with the eye in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the Latin on it says Novus Ordo Seclorum, if I've said that right, which actually stands in English. It translates to New Order of the Ages. Now, it's been on the reverse of the Great Seal since 1782, so the Illuminati was still around.
Yeah.
Right. but it's only been on the dollar bill since 1935.
So they've came back somehow.
So it has came back around. So basically, what it really means, though, right? So New Order of the Ages. What it actually means is when the US was an independent nation state for its first time.
Yeah.
1785 or whatever it was, a long time ago. So basically, they then state that it's all this master plan for the first ever Illuminati / Masonic government for the New World Order, right? So obviously Freemasonry wants nothing to do with that, says beggars are crap. Like modern day Freemasonry says beggars are crap, and that it's absolutely nothing to do with any of this. You know, the symbols they have are the symbols they have. There's no particular power in them, etc. So essentially, what they've come out and said is that and this is the American lodges have come out and basically said, well, there's no proof they were ever Masons. So there's pictures of them with, you know, the gear on, but there's no proof otherwise. So we can't say they were.
You can't say they weren't either.
Exactly.
Which
is where
that's the
comes in.
Yeah.
So, I'll start summarizing. Basically, all that is what people believe.
Yeah.
And then there's some criticism. So a lot of people would say that, you know, a lot of the critics of it would say that they're actually just indulging in a belief that facts and history are sinister for no reason.
Yeah.
So basically they're saying, oh, you know, the fact that's on the dollar bill means that
the world's coming.
New World Order. Yeah. No, it's 300 years old, so it's not sure. But anyway, basically they're saying that they believe, critics are basically saying, well, all you're believing is that history, rather than being social and economic and maybe some paranoia as well, because, you know, 100 years ago they didn't have the internet.
There's people out there that would believe an apple is a banana. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like people just...
You don't have that much... I don't have that much faith in certain people that believe in these certain things. Like, I mean, there's no proof there, but they just decide to make up their own truth. So,
another one that basically, I don't know if this is harsh or not, the way this is said, but basically the way it comes across is that cultural critics, so critics of the whole culture of the thing, you know, would say that these super conspiracy theories about a new world order and NWO are basically postmodern meta narratives that are essentially people trying to feel empowered by pretending they understand what's happening when it's not actually there.
Yeah.
So they're completely making it up.
Yeah.
So basically what the skeptics would say is that they then become cynics, they become, you know, convoluted thinkers, they feel it's pointless to even fight because, well, they can't win anyway.
No, they're not going to win. People, it's the same thing when people have like really, really, really strong minds. So you're not going to win an argument with them, so it doesn't matter.
But no, I mean like the people that are thinking this is happening.
Yeah,
just don't see the point in fighting because the other guys are too strong, too big.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't see the point in the government. And then people again, actually from within an NWO, the actual theorists, the conspiracy theorists themselves, there are some critics from within them have actually been like, well, what are we doing here? Yeah. So
that'd be me.
Despite them believing that they are actually like freedom fighters as such, because they're going to believe that, well, we are under the thumb.
Yeah.
You know, we are going to get stuck if we don't do something. So basically within that, you know, they within this, basically they see themselves freedom fighters. A lot of them would consider themselves right wing, which basically goes against the fact they want freedom and that they would want gender equality and they would want, you know, racial equality and all the rest, whereas the very really right wing people would completely disagree. They would say no, it needs to be white power and blah 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 and all that. So basically that's for your man Ike, we spoke about him earlier,
David
the Reptile
Icke,
Man.
Yeah, Reptile Man.
Yeah.
And also UFO man as well.
Basically, he argues that Christian patriots are the only Americans who actually understand about the truth about this whole NWO thing.
Strange, because Far Cry 5 is about that too.
He says that the only people that can understand are the Christian patriots, which, and just bear in mind, this guy genuinely believes that the world is controlled by a race of reptilians known as the Babylonian Brotherhood. Mm-hmm. So this is what this guy thinks.
He's probably right. You know what I mean? Probably right.
What he told a group was, I don't know which I dislike more, the world controlled by the Brotherhood or the one you want to replace it with. That's his quotes. But essentially,
he must be. He's like 60 something or 70 something.
I haven't seen age, to be honest. Seen age. But in picture I seen he had white hair.
Yeah, maybe he's like 80 odds now. No, I think he's about 60 something. Maybe, I don't know. He literally is like he's a super theorist. He's just nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He really is. Like he tried the whole UFO landings and stuff that men tell.
Yep.
He was just, honestly, like some of the stuff he said, you thought to yourself, like, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
A lot of that though, whenever I was reading into it and stuff, a lot of that was it was really interesting, like the links between real life groups that are still here and ones that were gone for whatever amount of time.
It is cool.
It's interesting.
You can compare them both and you're like, that is kind of cool that certain things do sort of relate, but at the same time you're like,
other bits just like are nuts.
Yeah, but I mean that whole reptilian thing, there's literally no need to even like what happened to his mind that he just thought reptiles?
I don't know.
Why not koalas?
I've honestly no idea. It's one of those things that I find that fascinating to read into. I hope that was fun to listen to. I hope you learned some stuff, because I find that really interesting.
Well, I didn't learn
the stuff you probably didn't already know.
Yeah, I knew some things, but like I said before, even like in the intro of this video, this podcast, even sorry, there's no video yet. just me banging my head off the wall because all these conspiracies are stupid. But yeah, I just like we were looking at it before, and I was reading through some, and I was like, this is just
nuts. The world is hollow, filled with reptiles that are actually controlling.
But the fact that people believe that, they're probably thinking at the same time at their house, they're going, how can you not believe that?
Yeah.
And it's just,
it's stupid.
It's mental that you might be thinking, like, if you put me and someone like that in a room, there'd be one winner, and it'd be by death. Like, you'd have to kill the other person. I could not come out of that room and positively be like,
yeah, I think the reptiles.
Yeah.
Are you a reptile?
There's no, yeah. You believe in that room going, Jesus, is everyone a reptile bar me? You know what I mean?
Am I a reptile?
Well, there you go. Like, you never know, but... no, I did enjoy that. It's just some of the things that you were talking about. I was like, yeah. Crazy. Even you were like looking at me going, seriously, like.
Oh no, some of it's pure nuts. But anyway, you have some very good ones, and I'm excited.
I've got some silly ones. Like I'm a music lover, so I thought I may start looking into some sort of music ones, and they were through the what do you call that? The Ulster? No.
Oh.
It's not Ulster, it's Ultimate Classic Rock, I think it was. The articles came from like 25 of them, but I only picked out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So first one is that David Bowie predicted the rise of Kanye West. Okay. This one's just, I think it's just really like just coincidence. Like, it has to be. There's no way.
I love David Bowie.
I think he's class.
This stuff's amazing. Sorry, carry on.
But so the conspiracy begins with his 1972 album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Yeah.
On the album, he's standing on like below a sign that says K West, K.West.
Okay. Is it a street sign?
It's no. I think it's like a neon type of thing, not a neon one. Like, it's on a.
Do you mind if I look it up?
Yeah, if you can look it up there. But it's like a yellow sign. Yeah, you just type in Ziggy Stardust and
the
Spiders from Mars. Yeah.
Oh, that's a motion picture. We don't.
You type in album cover.
I just say motion picture.
Yeah, there it's there. Yeah, so it's like a little like a wooden.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, like a wooden sign of some sort.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the album cover finds Bowie still sign under a sign that says K West. Inside the album opening track, 5 years, okay, finds Bowie's predicting a grisly end to the world unless a mythical starman, in quotes, descends to save Earth from itself. 5 years after that album was dropped, Kanye West was born.
No way.
It says the theory doesn't end there. Bowie's final album, Black Star, is thought to confirm West as his chosen successor. Something's happened on the day he died. Bowie sings in the title track, somebody else took his place and bravely cried, I'm a black star, I'm a black star, which is what he said. Kanye West, or even Kanye West is like, oh, I'm a rock star, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
West working as a
That was
producer.
just really coincidental, but that's so strange.
It is very strange, yeah.
Look at this album cover, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is quite strange.
It does literally say K. West.
West working as producer, also something Bowie's chart-topping fame on the Jay-Z single Takeover, providing another hint to some that he was meant to get his takeover from Bowie. West was thought to have accepted the mantle while paying tribute to Bowie on the day he died in January 2016.
Yeah, it's only 2.5 years.
That's mad. Saying he gave us magic for a lifetime, and then it says the fact that K West was actually a tailor based in London at the time. That's what it was. It was a tailor.
Okay.
But still, it's still quite strange, like that.
The way it all works.
Maybe like he just sort of thought to himself, well, David Bowie said this, so I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna just play up to it and be like, yeah.
Well, yeah, he should, because
But then that's where the theory comes from, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I don't know. Don't really believe it.
No, that's like sort of like, it's just, I think it's very coincidental.
Very, very coincidental.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a bit stupid.
Yeah.
It's that, This one, this one here is quite disrespectful.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, but I just find it hilarious. Like, I think it's terrible that someone's done this.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, people are bad. So this one here is Stevie Wonder is not blind.
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, people have said like before, because he read he didn't read. I'm assuming. I think he's blind. I think he's blind because a person. He's not. To me, he doesn't seem like a person that's like a prick. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it really matters. He's not going to be on DLA. He's rich.
It doesn't. It's not about the money. I'm just saying. Like, I don't think anybody would lie about a disability of like being blind or being dumb or deaf or whatever.
Okay.
And if they do, scum of the earth. Complete scum of the earth. That's terrible. You shouldn't lie about that sort of stuff. I think it's terrible.
Not for a long period of time.
Well, it'd be pretty hard to lie about it, would it not? Really. Don't know. Try and be deaf. Try and like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah, but I mean, like for like a long period of time, not like 10 seconds. Like some people have done.
Yeah.
But.
Years.
Yeah, years. Yeah. Try and be blind, deaf, or dumb for an amount of years, and try and.
Charlie Cox does a good job on what do you call it? Is that his name? Daredevil. Is his name Charlie?
I have no idea what his name is. Real name? I have no idea.
Well, either way, he's amazing. Like, you would believe he's blind. But anyway, carry on.
I suppose that's a good point, actually.
Like, he's really good at it.
Really good at being blind.
No, like pretending to be.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely not. But
no, he's not blind.
The way he does the face and all, you're like, can he see? It's just so good. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah,
we're talking about Stevie Wonder, not.
Yes, we're talking about Stevie Wonder.
Not Daredevil.
But we seen a video before. Remember I showed it to you there, like a couple of. Well, it was like before we started the.
Is that what this was related to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Paul McCartney, I don't know what it was. Performance at the White House East Room. So Paul McCartney like runs across this stage and accidentally hits a microphone stand.
Yes.
And Stevie just sort of nonchalantly just sort of grabs the mic stand.
It's not even like it's hitting him.
No,
it's literally off to his right hand side.
It's on its way.
Side.
It's on its way to hit the floor, and he just reaches out to grab it. And I was like, "That's kind of strange. It shouldn't really be." Like,
unless all his other senses are so heightened, he heard it go.
Yeah, maybe that's true because
unless somebody's like, "Oh no," and then he just randomly stuck his arm.
Maybe
out.
someone said, "There's a microphone stand to your left," in his earpiece. And
I don't know, but I know what you mean. The video is pretty funny. Like,
strange, like it is strange.
It's such a good catch.
Well, it says here that he's reportedly blind. He was blinded as a child, when he spent an extended period in an over-oxygenated incubator.
As a baby?
Mm-hmm. After being born 6 months early.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Imagine I wonder if there was a case about that. I wonder if they like sued him for making a blind baby.
Making a blind baby?
Or a baby blind, sorry. Sorry.
I don't think so. Maybe not in those days.
I don't know. Oh my goodness.
It is quite rough, like. But
that could happen. It's really sad.
It says, for some, the mic stand only confirmed that his oft-told origin story was a ruse. After all, Wanderers regularly at basketball games and even expressed an interest in photography and buying an airplane.
Although the thing is that I get the basketball thing because there's football fans that go blind or are blind and just love the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Or like, oh no, that was in Get Out. I was about to say there was a blind art guy that I heard about, but that was a character in Get Out, the film.
You're an agent.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, there is. I think it's actually debunked now because it's not debunked. I think it's fact.
He's bound to be blind.
Let's see. In 2017, he said he intended to tell all this year. I will reveal the truth, which turned out to be that Stevie Wonder is actually blind. Of course, he's blind.
Okay.
I mean, he has to be blind.
But
But that is crazy, though. I mean, someone had to have said something like, "There's a mic stand."
It's very easy tested, though, isn't it? Like,
well, yeah.
If
you chuck something at them, then
no. If they
oh,
well, because I could let you hit me with anything, but like if they shine something, if they shine something in your eyes and your eyes don't react,
yeah,
I think that's like you're blind. Like,
yeah.
You can't train your eyes not to do that.
but you can.
Well, I'm obviously gonna be able to do it.
Well,
now.
it's your iris or something, isn't it? Like it's your pupil that dilates or something.
Yeah.
But if you're blind, nothing. Like,
Yeah, it won't react.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently. But
I don't know. Maybe they could try it. Like, but I mean, I think that anyone who made that theory is really disrespectful. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's
really,
just awful,
really,
isn't it? Like,
really.
but I just thought it was one. I was like, because yours was like quite serious, and like,
yeah,
I was like, do you know what? Some of these are just really, really stupid.
yes.
So I was like, I think conspiracy theories are stupid, so I'm just gonna be like, yeah, why not? Just get these on. This is another stupid one.
Okay.
Paul McCartney.
Yes.
Everyone knows this one.
Is that who just walked across the stage a minute ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he's apparently been dead for like years. Apparently he died in
the original would never have knocked that mic over.
No. And then blame Stevie Wonder for not being blind afterwards. Terrible. But
he started the rumor. Take the heat off me. He's not blind.
I'm actually alive, you know. Oh dear. But
okay, give me the reasons behind this one.
yeah, apparently the reasons he's dead, Clark. That's what happened. He's dead. He's
How
dead.
he died in the know.
I'm pretty sure it was like a car crash or something, wasn't it?
Knocked over a mic stand. Terrible. Tripped.
Let's see. Third out. Okay, Paul McCartney has spent the third out of his career crisscrossing the globe on a seemingly never-ending tour. Paul McCartney's body double.
Is it Sir Paul McCartney?
I think it is Sir Paul McCartney now.
Give him
Yeah.
his full title here, Phil.
Paul McCartney. I'll say whatever I want about him. Very popular theory that in about 1969 suggests that the former Beatles star actually died in the mid-60s. I think it was 1966, maybe.
England won the World Cup.
And they covered up by hiring a lookalike. Now, I'm sorry, but that's like trying to find your doppelganger is a very hard thing to do. But they might just go, yep, anybody that goes that looks like him.
Ages ago.
What, Clark Duke?
Clark Duke?
Is it not him?
No, I don't think it's his real name.
Is it not? What's his real name?
Maybe it is his real name. It is. Oh, Duke, like with a D. Yeah,
not,
sorry.
not
yeah.
J.
Yeah, sorry.
Clark Duke.
Clark
Yeah.
Duke. Pretty much the same person.
Not really. He's an actor.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's richer than me. Sorry.
Well, that's just the truth. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Then, for reasons that are completely understood, yeah, okay, the Beatles began leaving clues for fans to figure out the whole scam.
Like his body parts.
There's Paul McCartney's eyelash. Some fans think they hear John Lennon saying, "I buried Paul" at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. That the car accident that took his life, yeah, it was a car accident.
He died? He's not dead in real life?
No, he's not dead.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were telling me he was dead.
This is the theory, right? So
Oh,
fans think they hear John Lennon saying, "I buried Paul" at the end of their song Strawberry Fields Forever.
Okay.
That the car accident that took his life is specifically referenced in A Day in the Life, and that the procession of the cover in 1969's Abbey Road is actually McCartney's funeral. So they're
Right.
walking to McCartney's funeral.
Oh, across the road?
Yeah.
Is he not there?
Yeah, but that's the body
Oh,
double.
that's not him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't really want to read too much in this
I
one
don't
because
know.
it really is stupid. Like,
Beatles songs get so, like, if you even think, was there not somebody who, like, read into a Beatles song?
well,
It was, what do you call the family murders? The Manson family. Charles Manson was listening to Beatles songs and became absolutely obsessed with one of them. Can't remember which. Became so obsessed with one of them that he thought that the message in it was start a race war, let all the blacks and stuff kill each other, and then the whites will come out of hiding and will be in charge, basically.
That's strange.
It's horrible, like.
Because this is another thing as well here, right? So Lennon's a white-clad clergyman. Ringo Starr's a mourner in all black. McCartney is dead since he's wearing no shoes. He was wearing no shoes in the.
All right.
And then.
Why did dead people not wear shoes?
I don't know, but that's just what they were saying. And then George Harrison is a denim wearing gravedigger. That's what they're saying. So he's a white-clad clergyman, a mourner, and then a gravedigger, and then the dead person is obviously Paul McCartney. So
it would need to be a Liverpudlian fellow that looks exactly the same as him then.
Yeah, because you couldn't teach that accent.
No,
there's no way you could teach that accent. A portion of Revolution Number 9 supposedly reveals the phrase "Turn me on, dead man" when played backward.
Oh, I hate that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. But then there was another thing as well. I'm not too sure what song it was, but there was a song of Judas Priest that an awful lot of people killed themselves to.
What?
Yeah, there was a whole court case and stuff for it. I can't remember what it was said in it, but there was also a thing for Ozzy Osbourne as well.
What?
About his songs killing loads of people because they were played backwards and stuff, and people were like, "Satan!"
No way.
Yeah. Don't quote me on half the things.
No.
But there are. I'm pretty sure Judas Priest and Ozzy Osbourne were one of the.
Holy crap!
Yeah, two of the bands out there that were apparently killing people via music. So good for them, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they wanted.
But yeah, I don't think he's dead. He did say that I'm
But
alive.
also have to be able to sing though, wouldn't he?
Doesn't really sing very well though.
Does he not?
No, not really. Have you heard him sing recently?
No.
Good. No. But he said, people be saying this stupid thing, like they were interviewing his body double. It's like, well, I'm alive and I'm living in Scotland. That's what he said. So, but that could be anybody. That could be it. Could be a body double of the body double. You never know.
He's just never gonna die.
Yeah, Paul McCartney could live till he's like 90 million years old. You never know. Another one here. Elvis Presley is still alive.
Oh, I've heard this one.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, this one, there's quite a lot in this one, but I think you were telling me about the one that he's a
gardener.
He's a gardener in his own Graceland area. Yeah.
And the reason that people know it's him in quotations is that he put something, was it like 2 fingers to his forehead in some sort of salute, and in some language that means I'm alive or something. Is that in there?
Not the. Well, I'll read it here and see what it says. So, Elvis Presley most certainly did not leave the building. Blah blah blah. So, let's see. At least no, that's not right either.
When did he die?
1977.
Yeah. It was on.
Well,
was he on the toilet?
Die. Yeah, well, he was on. He was in a cubicle, yeah, and he had taken drugs, I think, and he just died. But yeah, I don't think that's real. But
silly boy, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Okay, so others pointed to the misspelling of his name on the tombstone at Graceland, so which says Aaron instead of Aaron, so Aaron instead of Aron as his middle name.
Did somebody spell his name wrong? His grave?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah. And the coroner's diagnosis of cardiac arrhythmia, which can't be determined in a dead body, and to the rumours of Presley sweating in his casket.
What?
Yeah, apparently he sweated in his casket. You never heard of that before? No. He sweated in his casket. Yeah. Proof that the figure was made of wax. To the rumour that nobody ever cashed out his life insurance policy, because that's a good thing to do.
Was there anybody that could have done that?
His mum died, I'm pretty sure.
Priscilla was not his wife. Were they not divorced?
Don't know what way. Well, it all depends on his will, I would assume. Would it not, really?
Anyway, yeah.
And then there's a curious fact that his autopsy was placed under a 50-year seal.
So Elvis Presley?
To anybody, I suppose you would.
Maybe his family didn't want anybody to know.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. I mean, I'm sure like Michael Jackson as well. I'm sure people said his autopsy and stuff.
You'd dig him up tomorrow, he'd still be in pristine condition.
Why? 'Cause he's plastic.
Yeah,
that's terrible. That's awful. Let's see. They suggested Presley had become fed up with fame and was in ill health, so he faked his own death in order to go back to a simpler way or life, or that Presley, as a federal agent, was forced to go into witness protection.
What?
It got more interesting. A man subsequently bought a plane ticket to Buenos Aires under the name John Burroughs, an alias Presley used for hotel reservations. But Presley wasn't an actual federal agent, and many of these so-called sightings don't really look like Elvis at all. So maybe we'll never know, that is, until the rumoured 663-page FBI file on Presley is released.
When's that released?
Christ knows.
2027?
Yeah.
9 years. We'll come back.
9 years. Elvis actually didn't die, you know.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe that stuff?
Episode 3012, we actually have proof.
We've actually got Elvis on today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, that one's I mean, some of these are just like completely stupid. Like they really
I love
are.
that last one. That's nuts.
Well, I've got one more. I've
Okay.
got one more, and it's so stupid, it's unbelievable.
Okay.
About Phil Collins, right?
Okay.
Apparently, he let a man drown just because of his lyrics that people just read so much into.
Oh my goodness.
It's serious. Like, people do genuinely just read far too much into something like that really shouldn't have anything to it. There's no juice to it. There's no need for it at all. Let's see. So for
You know
many,
what? I hate when people read into lyrics. That actually annoys me. That's like me being like, oh, well, Justin Bieber's mom doesn't like me, but she likes everybody. Because it's in a song. It's honestly ridiculous.
well, I mean, she might.
she might not.
She might hate you. She might not. You never know. Have you met her before?
No.
Oh well.
Which is probably a good thing for me.
Yeah, because you'd probably be slapping her, telling her why the hell did you make that thing?
What have you done?
Why have you disgraced the earth like this? It gave you life. Look what you've given it. So let's see. For many, the true meaning of Phil Collins' top 5 debuts in the air tonight. Okay, so where was this actual
What
thing?
song is it?
In the air tonight.
In the air tonight.
A principal hypothesis involves Collins' inability to save a drowning man, based on a key line from the song. In one version, a friend calls out of the boat. In another, Collins witnesses the tragedy from afar away and can't come to the swimmer's aid. Another suggesting this is just stupid. Another suggesting something much darker was unfolding, perhaps a sexual assault.
In the water?
In the water.
What?
But by someone that's under the water. Obviously dragging this other person down.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
God
Are
damn
these
it.
sharks?
God damn it.
In many of these theories, there was someone closer to the horrific events, but he refused to help. Some have even imagined that Collins revealed the man's identity, perhaps by shining a spotlight on him during the concert.
I know who it was.
Who was it?
It was Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
He let him die.
He did, he let him die. And the perpetrator was driven to suicide by the revelation. And bemused Collins has admitted he simply made the words up as he went along. Despite the number and specificity. Yeah, that's the word. I can never say that. It does my head in. Rumours. That's all there was to it. He says, I was just fooling around and I got the chords that I liked, so I turned the mic on and started singing.
And just let a guy drown.
Just let a guy drown, apparently. that's how it works. It's so frustrating, he says, because this is one song out of all the songs probably that I've ever written that I really don't know what it's about.
It's a good song.
Yeah. But then, obviously...
all I'm going to think about is a guy drowning.
Yeah, but it's obviously people are going to look into that song and go, well, he's said on record now that he doesn't even know what it's about. So obviously he watched a man drown.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, it's just some of the things that people say, they genuinely...
You know who was there with him watching?
Paul McCartney?
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Stevie Wonder.
They were both watching Paul McCartney drown.
That's terrible. Like, I mean, like, genuine people are like, this is nuts to me.
Yeah.
Like, I read this. It was on that Ultimate Classic Rock website. There was 25 of them, and I was just scrolling through.
Some of them are just crazy.
Just baffled.
Yeah.
Genuinely baffled. Like,
honestly, like these.
Lady Gaga killed Lou Reed. Oh, okay, that's nice. Pretty sure like cancer or something killed Lou Reed. Like, but I mean, that's just stupid.
It's just honestly like.
Jimi Hendrix was murdered.
Was he?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. And then your woman Courtney Love was involved with Kurt Cobain's death.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
I don't know. I swear, like, see, looking into some of these, they are hilarious, but at the same time, the rabbit holes you can go down. This episode wouldn't just be an hour.
It's not healthy for you. No.
No.
I'm glad we did this episode. Don't get me wrong, but
we've just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Of what we've read out, they're very base.
Yeah.
Even the one, like my one that was what, half an hour, it's so basic. That's the surface. And same with those. You look at the likes of the McCartney.
Well, they are little blurbs, like the little blurbs of the stories.
That's just the surface. You could probably go clean in there and find that people have.
Well, I have read a bit more about the Paul McCartney one before. I've read it like ages ago, but some of the things that were said in it, like, and then sure the whole John Lennon thing as well was being like spied on by the FBI and stuff. It's just, which apparently was true, but
you told me that after.
Yeah, because he was against war.
How dare he?
Oh, God forbid.
How dare he?
But yeah, like, it's just, I mean, obviously back in the day, like in 1960s and 1950s and even prior to that, like, technology wasn't around then.
Not like now.
Not like internet. You know, and people didn't have these sort of open minds and just go, well, I can just write this on a blog and people can believe it.
Yeah.
Which is the power people have these days.
Yeah.
Back then, you had to go about the place and have
papers.
Papers, but you have to, like, if you want to make people believe you, you have to have that sort of essence about you. You can just like go and stand in front of like 45 billion people and be like, yeah, well, I'm Jesus. So.
There's reptiles under the earth and the earth is hollow.
Yeah. The earth actually is flat, but everyone's inside it somehow. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I mean,
it's crazy.
The majority of these ones, I just don't understand them. Like, I mean, we've even talked about the moon landing as well, and I mean, we can go into depths about that. I just wouldn't, because I would come out of it probably a lot more stupid than I would go into it.
I tell you, we could probably speak for 5 hours and again be nowhere near a conclusion.
Well, that's what I was saying. You would start, so once you start, you will still finish at the same point you started at. You're going to go around the circle and nothing's ever going to happen from it.
Yep, and you're not going to have proved it, you're not going to have disproved it.
And you're just going to be angry at yourself.
You're just going to be frustrated.
Yeah, that's why I went for these silly ones, because there's nothing to them. It's just like, it literally is just people going, well, Paul McCartney died, you know?
Yeah, Elvis decided to be his own gardener.
And also just get his name misspelled and get a wax figure made of him in his casket, like.
Exactly.
Just get a wax casket then. It's just burn it. I mean, what's...
Use himself as like a candle.
Like a big life-size candle. It's been burning for 84 years. But I'm glad we did this episode. It was very different, but I'm glad to leave this one
where it is,
where it should be, and it should be put in the bin.
Although I would like to hear, does anybody actually believe or agree with any conspiracy theories? Do
I'm
they
sure there will be.
have their own, for example? Are we trying to take over the world?
Who
okay,
knows?
quick, turn off.
Who knows? Who knows? We even got our own mugs.
That's true. Coming to Tesco's near you, £500 each.
£500 each,
at least.
That's ridiculous price. I would never charge that. And if you brought that number to my mind, I'd be like, podcast is done.
£600.
Yeah, but yes, folks, thanks for joining us, and we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.